I also would like to invite a young MC from the future who will be introducing women from the future that actually will be inducted to the actual building of the National Women's History Museum. Please welcome Pearl.
Welcome to the 2040 National Women's History Museum inductee ceremony. Thank you for joining us as we continue to honor the women who have made the most important contributions to society and to the world as a whole. This is a very exciting day for the National Women's History Museum because we are inducting 3 living figures into the museum, and we are honored to introduce them to you now. First is Morgan Ford, who recently won the Nobel Prize for Medicine after dedicating her life to finding a cure and vaccine for Ebola.
It's an honor to be recognized and to become a part of a museum that's so close to my heart. During a class trip to the National Women's History Museum, I was inspired by Elizabeth Blackwell, the first ever female doctor in the United States. I read her compelling story in the Tracing Change Gallery about how she was only admitted to medical college as a joke and still went on to establish a medical college for women and a hospital for women and children. I decided right then that I could make a difference in the world of medicine, and I did. It is with great pride today that I become a part of her legacy, and even better, a part of a larger legacy of innovative women throughout history. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. You are a shining beacon of what's possible. The museum is honored to help you pass the baton to the next medical prodigy. Our second inductee graduated from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point and passed Special Forces training to become an Army Ranger. Today, she is the first female officer to command a Special Forces unit of men and women. And it is because of her efforts that we are closer than ever to ending all war. Ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Landry.
Thank you. I am so grateful to be standing here today. I must say I owe a lot of my success to the bravery of Deborah Sampson. When I first visited the National Women's History Museum with my Girl Scout troop, I learned about Deborah. She was an amazing woman who disguised herself as a man and fought during the Revolutionary War. She was shot in battle and she removed the bullet herself so no one would know she was a woman. That took guts. I wanted to have guts like that. Thanks to Deborah's inspiration and the National Women's History Museum, I am here and still alive today. Thank you for including me into such a brave and noble family.
The museum is grateful to be inspiring young women like Catherine, and that inspiration can possibly save lives. Our last inductee is a former space shuttle astronaut and current administrator of NASA. She is a pioneer of Mars exploration, and it is because of her work that the new colonies are being built as we speak. Please welcome Shyam Mccord.
Thank you so much. I touched back down on Earth yesterday just for this ceremony. This induction is so special to me. As a young woman, I visited the National Women's History Museum with my grandparents and my brother. I was amazed by the story of Sally Ride, the first female astronaut from the United States to go into space. Her story is what launched me onto my journey with NASA to become the very first woman to step foot on Mars. I must also acknowledge my brother, Dylan, who was with me at the exhibit that day. He was so inspired that through his success, he was able to fund one of the museum's biggest exhibits today on women in space. He's here with us now. Thank you, Dylan. Please stand.
Congratulations to all three of you. It is because of the foresight and generosity of the founders before us that the National Women's History Museum even exists.
Thank you to the women and men that donated to the museum to help fund the commission.
Thank you to the museum and the commission members for encouraging Congress to provide the land for the museum.
And thank you to all who helped fund the Brick and Mortar Museum.
Without it, who knows what the state of the world would be and what great accomplishments would go unrealized.
Help inspire us.
Everyone has a light bulb moment in her or his life. A moment when they say, it is possible. I can do it. This is the Tracing Change exhibit that these three young ladies went to that day at the National Women's History Museum, where they had that light bulb moment. By preserving history, we can make history. We can make this world a better place so little girls dream big, they work hard, and they make a difference. These future leaders show us why America deserves a national museum that educates, inspires, and shapes the future by including women's stories into our national narrative. We are at a critical point. Our museum is at a very critical point. Let me explain what we have on the slide right here, what we have accomplished in the last 3 years, so you can understand the importance of November 2016, which I know you keep on hearing. In 2014, 4 members of Congress sponsored legislation to establish a congressional commission. It was passed by Congress, and President Obama signed it into law. And these are the commission members. These are the notable women that were appointed by congressional leadership, as shown on these screens. These women will recommend a site location on or near the National Mall. And on November 18th, 2016, this privately funded commission will submit its report to Congress. So how can you help? The Congressional Commission operating costs were $974,000. The National Women's History Museum to date has raised $630,000. We are still in need of $344,000 by November to complete the funding for this private commission to finish off their work. This is obviously above and beyond the operating costs for staff, overhead, and one of the biggest museums online. With your donations today, you can become part of history. We have contribution forms on everyone's table, and every dollar counts. If you contribute $50,000, one of your benefits will be recognition on one of our public online exhibits, for example, Women and the Olympics. If you contribute $100,000, one of your benefits will be recognition on one of the public online exhibits, as well as one of our online resource centers that is used for thousands of teachers and students across the country, for example, Women in STEM. If you contribute or pledge collectively $1 million or more, one of your benefits is you will be listed on the Founders Wall in the new building. Your pledges will help tell Congress that women's contributions to our nation's history deserves to be recognized. It is our responsibility to not let these young people down. Help us so that these students have role models, so that they can be the first to land on Mars. Help us build the first national museum for women. I have interns and staff that will be coming around to your tables. Please donate. I'm going to take a couple of moments here so everyone can write down what they need to and they feel good about, and we will have them come around your tables and pick up these donation cards. So I just want to thank everybody so much, and the girls as well, and any dollar is a big help for the National Women's History Museum. Thank you.